So today we're just wood splitting. Fuel pump on the big splitter's broken, so just getting a little exercise, having some fun, blowing up some logs. Play with the old iron axe. This is some really dry maple I picked up in town. Real dry. Kind of pretty. One more maybe. Never thought I needed a gym membership. There's always too much damn work to do. Some people like to leave those as roundies. I don't. Half these stack better. I never can seem to split them down the middle, so thirds work okay. This axe has a steel handle, which is probably completely ridiculous. But sometimes it works better than the damn maul, especially if I get into sycamore. Even a little to the left. Put a milling machine back together at work. Doing some maintenance. It ran fine. We had a kitten for a couple of days, but the dogs couldn't seem to stay out of it. So kitten's living at a new spot, which is okay. There's plenty of cats in the neighborhood. I don't really have a mouse problem. When we redid the kitchen, we plugged up all the mouse holes. Sometimes it's nice to just work. It seems like it's just better for you somehow. A little raw labor. This may look impressive, but these blocks aren't that heavy. They are really dry. Whew. Missed it. Whoops. The old heart rate up. So, some of these were a bit long. I'll end up making 2 blocks out of that. So I figured I'd split all the little stuff first. Because something to do in the evening after work. Yeah. See, I'm over striking, getting way too deep into the block. I shouldn't really be swinging that hard. But it's hard to judge. Some of the stuff has a curly grain on it. It'll throw tricks at you. Like this one. Who knows how that's going to split. Maybe we try the maul this time. Believe it or not, this little 6-pounder feels a lot lighter than that damn iron axe. So there's one. Now a buddy of mine, a long time ago, told me to always split down the crotches of the tree. But I'm pretty sure that has to do with a splitter and not, oh no, manually. That works fine. So we burn about 3/4 year here in the desert because it's pretty warm. But on those real cold days, our electric just isn't efficient. We're updating the house, but you know, it's never fast enough. And this is about as carbon neutral a fuel as it gets. Because in town here, we're growing acres and acres of trees. I've been, oh, damn it. See, you get lazy, take a slow swing, and completely miss. Completely miss. Then you hit it too hard and knock your block off. Sometimes you just can't win. I bet we split right down that bark. Nope. Maybe. Let's see. Oh. No. No, 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 no. Well, let's call a friend, huh? Oh, still not. Well, maybe we try this side again. I think it'll go this time. Ah. See, it's all about aim. Unlike hand grenades, splitting is much more about accuracy than it is about explosive force. Granted, the explosive force is still fun and enjoyable, but not necessarily a necessity to get the job done. Check out that ridiculous grain. See all that nonsense? Isn't that something else? This is going to be stupid. Yep, that was stupid. Round 2. Oh, motion. You try to hit the same spot. Just help the work that you've done to get done. It's okay. Just like that. I guess that's the cool thing about this kind of work. You can always tell, oh Jesus, that you made progress. Look at that. See, clean split on that side, dead stop there. So in this situation, I'd recommend more power. Look at that. Something else. I think this is silver maple. I don't think it's sugar maple. All we have around here really is silver maple. And I don't know if y'all are familiar, but they're not the best tree, especially when amateur arborists go and top them all the time. They get hollow, and around here we have a mosquito the size of a small bird that likes to grow in the hollows. I swear they have a needle 1/4 inch long. It's like getting assaulted by a P-51. Vampire. Choice of the day. Shall we do one-handed? Ah. That was reckless. Don't do that at home, kids. That's unadvisable. Like I said, it's all about control. I was getting stupid yesterday, and I bounced this axe off my steel toe right there. Always wear your PPE. Because there's two kinds of stories about safety equipment. I never wear it, I had it on and something happened, or I always wear it, I took it off and something happened. And you want to be in the first camp. That sycamore, that's for later. Oh, can split. I like to split the rock stuff because it knocks some of the rot out. There's a little bit of good wood in there. The rest will just burn to ash. And if there's any worms or whatnot in there, it lets the birds get at them easier. Because I want the birds to eat the worms. Always have the birds eat the worms. I think this one's from our home tree from last year. Way down at the bottom of the pile. Yeah, it splits nicely. And drop the knees. So it's good to remember form if you're doing a lot of this. Bring the axe up over your shoulder, over your head, drop your knees. It's a great way to prevent cutting your shins. Also good for the back. It's best to keep your back straight if you can. I'm obviously Americanized, and that form of ergonomics is not best for me, but whatever. Strive to be better, accept what you are. So we got little crack, big crack, limb, knot. Book says split down the side. We'll try that. Good side split. Book wins. Busted that knot right out of there. Rotation, knot. Book says split in the middle. Book's right. Busted that knot too. The splitter was running. I wouldn't have to pay attention to this. It's good to stay in the loop. Book says cut the crack. One more for the book. Read your books, kids. The internet's a lot of empty talk. See? You listen to the book that time. I saved myself a bunch of stinking work. We're gonna beat it. Force can win. Sometimes. See? All that stupid work, very little progress. Let's see. Why is that? Oh! There. The bark is obfuscating. What's going on? Take a look at this, sports fans. So you see, I split here. And this one wants to go that way. Over here wants to go this way. And here we have a core from a branch. And here we have another core. So I'm splitting right in the crotch of a damn tree. So my buddy was right last time. I don't know about this time. It also doesn't help that I'm about 3/4 of an inch off center. There we go. Or splitting block. Tell them. Okay. Reassessment. So we are cutting through that nonsense right there. We already did. One good shot. Or two. So here is the source of our troubles. About a 2-inch limb. We just cut straight through. Try and do that with an axe on your own sometime. And you will understand. Best to follow the book. The book says in the middle. Next one. So here we have a delicate straight round. Very little twist to it, very straight cracks, very straightforward. Some growth right there, but nothing big. Shall we whack it with the axe? I'm tired from all that stupid splitting just a minute ago. This axe head is loose. Never stand in front of somebody splitting. Yeah. Don't stand there. The camera's there. I don't care about the camera. But digging axe heads out of people just really ruins the day. You know, just makes it terrible. I think that's enough, guys. Oh, it's only 17 minutes. You want to see some more? A little more? I'll do a little more. Shall we go for a solid half an hour? One of these days, I will attain internet fame. Maybe. Become a millionaire. Build a factory. Always wanted to do that. I wanted to build a factory where you can teach people how to do work, like scraping and planing and machining and repairing and welding. Whole apprenticeship deal like Germany's got. We don't got a lot of factories. I used to run a factory. Americans are really good at manufacturing. We just seem to keep forgetting it. Keep wanting to buy cheaper and cheaper stuff. How do you get a good paying job if you won't pay for nothing? Learn a skill, go home to your garage, buy old surplus machine equipment, woodworking equipment, innovate, grow your own company, become the boss, train people how to go home to their garages, innovate, become the boss. That's the nostalgia, right? That's the Goldilocks period we all miss and think about, the sweet spot between a world war and a useless war. Wars make money. Wars have always made money. I honestly think wars have always been about money. You see, you come up with a beautiful philosophy, a beautiful narrative to tell the poor people so they go get killed. Rich people make the money. Collect the land. Whatever it is, wars are always about money. There's no such thing as a righteous war. There's great propaganda though. Glorious, patriotic propaganda. There's never been a righteous war. Don't go quoting Bible verses at me, I know plenty. I ain't wrong. I don't care who condoned it, there's never been a righteous war. But there have always been profitable wars. Always. And we have all profited from war in one way or another. So maybe that's the necessity of the thing. Maybe. You know, I get tired and I just talk. It's kind of weird. We've also always profited from knowledge and learning. The democratization of education. The understanding of its necessity for our survival. Maybe we don't believe we need to survive anymore. And I don't mean education like school's good. You need school. You need to be able to understand the body of knowledge that we've recorded for the past couple thousand years. It's very important. Because without that knowledge, we wouldn't have grown. You can't pass on the wealth from one generation to the next if you don't tell them how to do it. And only so much goes by hand to mouth, or word of mouth. You need practical knowledge. You need book knowledge. It's vitally important. Shouldn't forget what brought us here, where we are. All of it in one way or another contributed. Every atrocity, every innovation, every glory pushes us forward in the direction to where we stand today. And if you don't think where we stand today is pretty good, then you obviously don't understand history, how bad it was. Turn the clock back 60 years, how bad it was. Turn it back another 60 years. Keep going back 60 years at a time. Death, disease, famine, persecution, picket. Keep going back until you have a good frame of reference for where we are today. Where we are today is phenomenal. Where we are today is beyond the imagination of most of the world's population 100 years ago. Except those who could write, they had a pretty good imagination. And we don't remember the ones that can't. Alright. Making pretty good headway through this wall. Here we have a lovely triple branch. You'll see 1, 2, 3 cores and a bark split. The book says cut the sides. I concur with the book on this one. Ooh. Yeah, definitely cut the sides. Ladies and gentlemen, check out that grain. If this is green, it would have been miserable. I'm gonna go, book was right on this one. Now, book says cut the bark. Money. Lots and lots of baby knots. Book says cut the crack. Way to go, book. Mind you, I'm not a professional. This is purely for my own recreation and personal, not development, maintenance, personal maintenance. One should not forget the things that brought one here. Maybe. Too hard. Just right. One more for this one. Now this is 18 inches. It will fit in my stove, but if you are an arborist company and happen across this, please cut your blocks to 16 inches. Makes my life so much easier coming after you. Not that you all care, but I know it saves you a bucket of money not having to get rid of this stuff. At least in my town it does. Something like 90 bucks a ton for disposing of wood. Maybe it's cheaper for straight compost. I don't know. My cost is 90 bucks a ton if I take it to the dump. Oh, I guess I should mention, every year I get my trees from trees that are cut down around town. I don't go out and harvest. I used to, but I don't need to because they're in town, and why would I drive 90 minutes in any given direction to get trees out of a forest when they're cutting down perfectly good trees, 50 plus years old, that live in town? And we have hundreds of acres of trees here in the middle of the desert for no reason. Pretty sure we're terraforming this place. I think you can only suck so much water out of a river for so long. Disrupt so much of the local ecology for so long before you turn it back into the rainforest it was about 2,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. Long time ago. Oh! Should have listened to the book on this one. You hear that? This is going to be ouchy. Yeah, I can see the twist in it and the big knot. I know. It's that old saying about repeating the same thing, expecting a different result. You guys remember that one? So what am I talking about? You see this right here? That used to be a branch. It's likely that where I'm trying to split is right on top of whatever curly, stupid little grain is happening right there, and it doesn't want to. Because normally, if I split both sides, one wedge relieves the other wedge. Right now it ain't. That, yeah, that's good. There it's going. Now, remember what I was talking about? Accuracy? Accuracy. Yes, I have clipped axes before. Yes, it's not fun, but they're my axes. You all go, don't clip your own axes. Don't do what I do. I'm not a professional. Granted, probably nobody's going to watch this video, so I expect to have no comments. If you do watch this video, subscribe to my channel that rarely gets updated. Watch the things that I do sometimes. Eventually, I don't know. I like to share, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, okay. See? So I split down. See that big bump right there? That's what I'm splitting into. That's why it took that's why it was so hard to crack. Yeah. So Book would have been right on this one. Split the edges first. Should have listened to the book. Oh, felt that. All the way up in the shoulders. Alright kids, we should be close to 30 minutes here. I'm about done for the evening. This one's giving me a real beating. Good old mystery log. Holy doty. Shall we do it? I'll do it just for you. Very, very little progress. So you understand the problem, right? Here it's splitting straight, there it's splitting at 45 degrees. I ain't accomplishing anything. Leverage is your friend. Now, let's see what would have happened if we listened to the book. Book says, split the edge. Well, book, I should have listened to you. Now I know where my round is. Book says, go for it. See that nonsense? Alright, on that note, guys, it's been fun. I got a lot of stacking to do. Y'all have a good night. Peace, love, all the good stuff.